making much of it. Just caught, but nothing too serious. He's a big lad, so he'll be back on his feet. He played in the Under-17 World Cup with the likes of Isak's success, formerly of Granada, now at Watford, and indeed Kelechi Iheanacho, former Manchester City and now Leicester City striker, of course. Young goalkeeper making his debut for Deportivo de La Coruna today. And that ball over to this near side, and the Depor really have been on the defensive in the opening 10 minutes of this second half. Throw-in taken down the line. Kike away from Luisinho. Turns one way, then the other, then prods it across, but it's nonchalantly hooked away in the centre by Guilherme. Depor looking for the free kick, and indeed given the free kick. Dani Garcia getting involved, and he's going to get himself booked. Or is he? It is he who is getting the yellow card indeed. Both players, Emre Çolak, I think, yep, shown the yellow card as well. 26-year-old, born in Istanbul, so technically gifted. Much like most of the Depor side, you can also Dani Garcia there, not really accepting of that. Pulled the shirt, let a trip. Emre Çolak didn't really seem to do too much there. Dani Garcia, I think, claiming that he was trodden on, but realistically, a bit of handbags from both players. So Sydney will take the free kick. Pepe Mel must be hoping that at some point during this second half his team will click into gear going forward. Dimitric quickly off his line there. Paulo Oliveira's touch wasn't exactly convincing. Florin Andoni closing in. And a capper down the channel, well cut out by Luisinho. Good ball forward from Eibar. That kind of pass advances teams up the field. Gonzalo Escalante was going to take the throw, and a capper demanding that he takes it in front of Pepe Mel, who's patrolling the touchline. They do have the ability in the players that they have on the field, Depor, but such is the way the team is set up, they have to pull back and worry more about the Eibar wingers than they are worrying about creating anything for themselves at the moment. Lucas Perez is on the bench. Whether he comes on, we'll have to wait and see. I'm sure he will be introduced at some stage. But whether Pepe Mel wants to risk too many attacking players, and a capper just beyond the Depor defence, flag straight up, no complaints. It was a tight one, the top of your picture there. The linesman reading the step up though and deciding Ander Kappa was indeed offside. Both coaches have a familiar look about them when it comes to that frown as they look out and try and work out how they can influence and change the shape of this game. And the nod down finds Fede Valverde, who lets it run. As Florin Andoni, I'm not sure which piece of him hurts, but definitely winded. Whether that's from the fall or said Lucas Perez might be introduced. I don't think it'll be just yet. I think Florin Andoni will pick himself back up. And a capper there just putting his shoulder right into the Romanian, taking the wind out of him. Body checked, but no foul, said the referee. And there are the substitutes. Bebe on the right may well be introduced to add some pace to proceedings for the home team. Alongside him, Jose Angel and indeed Charles warming up. We'll have to get used to the Charlas pronunciation, but we'll see when he comes on, if and when he comes on, of course. At the moment, it's Sergi Emrich and Kike up front for Eibar. Not combining too well there as Depor pick up the ball. Now they've got 5 men racing forward, the visitors here. They need the final pass. That's what let them down in the opening 45 minutes. Decision making. And that ball into the area, just beyond the reach of Celso Borges, right in front of goal. Wasn't a bad cross. Luisinho think about going for goal. Catches it with his weaker right foot and hits it wider than the actual width of the goal. Depor going forward in the opening period. They had chances, they had the odd breakaway. As I say, pass is just overhit. They played too close to Eibar defenders or keeper. That ball in for Celso Borges was of a better quality though. Deportivo's reserves also being put through the warm-up routine. I was going to say almost a pre-match there, but I was thinking of pre-game in the sense of just ensuring that all the muscles are warm. The line is Luisinho almost causing problems, but the fullback plays it short. Possession once more rolls it into the feet of Marko Dimitrovic. Nobody really attacking the edge of the area. Tries to find the feet of Emre Çolak, and his touch just seems to be slightly off today. Good knockdown from Depor midfielder. Finds Juncker and plays it back. The line. Almost caught problems, but the fullback gets Juncker once again more and rolls it into the feet of Marko Dimitrovic. Albentosa and Sydney in the centre. Those balls in would be useful. Good knockdown from close enough to the Eibar strikers. Juncker. Fede Cartabia rolls it out to Juan Fran. Crossing becoming the name of the game for both teams. Got to say the quality of that one wasn't too high, was it? Everybody plenty of time to consider. Pepe Mel getting his message across from the sidelines. And then plays it back to Arnaud Sarabia. Close it up, he says. Close them in. Juncker once again. Throwing to be taken down this near side. Gonzalo Escalante rolls it back, and again that ball forward. It's percentage football in a way from Eibar. It proved very successful last term. Cartabia thought he'd gone round his man. And the pass. Kike starting the run, not keeping his eyes on the ball. Who was to blame? Whether the pass didn't have enough on it, but with Albentosa and Sydney frustration once again that hasn't been evident so far in this second half from the Eibar supporters. Close enough to the Eibar strikers. A bit extra, a bit more fluidity to the play perhaps. Touch, here's a poor one from Fede Valverde. Nothing really working at the moment for Depor. Players just not at their game. And a Kappa thought about trying to go around the outside. Closed down by the backing Fede Valverde. Mel getting his message across from the sidelines. He returns to the central defender. They just need to move Depor from side to side, really shift their shape.